Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'd like to welcome you.
It's the world's famous. No gratuity.
All right, y'all. This is officially show 12.
Yes, sir.
What's the word?
What is the word, man?
Can't call it, man. Rough week this week.
Rough week.
Yeah, we should call this the hoodie week because
Rough
everybody here got hoodies on.
Bro, it's like 12 degrees outside.
Yep.
It's snowing
Yeah.
out here.
Us three, us outside of KNS, we're dealing with literal snow.
I know we're the only three that should have on a hoodie right now.
Well, you know, as a Floridian, anytime
I
it
know,
drop
right?
below 60, it's a problem. We layering up. You know what I mean? Layering up.
What is it, like 65 out there?
I'll tell you right now. Let me look on my trusty Apple weather app here. It is officially 63 degrees.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What are we
You
at?
got the Timbs out?
Nah. You know, I haven't rocked Timbs in quite some time, man. It's just,
Yeah, I
you know,
rocked mine the other day.
it's
it's like no point in rocking Timbs down here. You know what I'm saying?
63 though.
Yeah. I mean,
You got to get out the bubble goose in the Timbs.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna front, man. I busted mine out like a couple of weeks ago, the Timbs, and then the jacket this past week.
Yeah?
Got brick up here, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I almost rocked my Scully today, but I was like, it's not that cold.
I rocked the bubble jack with the fur line in it.
Yeah, man. But I did turn 47 this week. Crazy, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, congrats, brother. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, in other news,
You don't look a
another
day
year
over
around the
40.
sun.
You don't look a day over 46, bro.
I know.
Hey, man, we're all close to that AARP status.
Oh Lord.
Get there
man.
quick, man.
Speak for
I'm already
yourself.
there.
So that means, well, did you get the correspondence in the mail yet, Mink?
Not yet.
You
Not
get your
yet.
card?
I'm waiting on it.
And it's funny
Discounts.
when I do the FIU football games, right? There's for college they have this thing called Conference USA, and these are the guys who they sit in front of me, right at the glass, and they're the ones who adjust the time on the scoreboards. You know what I'm saying? Anytime the play stops, they gotta pause the time and blah blah. They keep the time so that everything is official. You know what I'm saying? And it's a bunch of old guys, right? So I always used to be like, they go to AARP squad, but now look at it, I'm 3 years away from that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Wait. How old you got to be in AARP
50.
now?
50, bro.
50.
That's it?
50 is when they start soliciting.
Yo, when I was younger, I thought it was like 100, bro. Like, it
Oh,
just seemed like old people. You know what I mean? Like 50
like you're like
old now?
75.
Right. It was like you had to be way older than 50, bro. You had to be like
No, it's 50.
in a wheelchair and walkers and shit.
Yeah, no, it's 50. It's 50. But hey, you know what? Let's look at that as a blessing because there's a lot of people who can't get past, 45. Look, there's a couple.
That's facts.
There's a couple. I think it was pro baseball player who died, and he was like 37.
Yeah,
they just reported that
yeah.
in the news, and it's like that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we getting up there in age, I'm
man.
I'm gonna look at it as the glass half full instead of half empty. You know what I mean? At least we still here.
Getting old is definitely a
word.
beautiful
That's
thing for sure.
Yeah,
What's not a beautiful thing is as you're getting old, it feels like there's always something else that breaks on your body. It's like I feel another ache and pain. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. Hymns.com, bro. Word.
Yeah, man.
They got a hers.com now.
I mean,
Him
soon
and hers.
I'm gonna have to do like you, Drew, and get rid of all of this, man.
Just
Oh,
get
man,
it,
yeah,
bro.
you-
Just done.
Oh yeah,
Hey, join the club, man.
yeah,
Take
man.
it off.
Yeah.
Take it
I
off.
mean, I could take it off. My wife wouldn't even care. You know what I'm saying? She's cool with it.
As long as you're not losing any in the back, though. If you got your
Yeah.
got in the back,
I still
you
got
good.
in the back. That's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
then let it rock with it.
Yeah. No, you see, it's two things you don't want. You don't want the back to hollow out, and you don't want this to keep pushing back where you just have this and then you don't have that. Any
the
one of
Sherman
those
Hensley?
two, yeah,
George Jefferson?
yeah,
Sherman Helmsley.
any one of those two, you got to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut it off.
Dude, I would kill for the Sherman Hemsley, bro.
You like that look?
Nah, not really, but it's just
man.
funny as hell. Like I could just wear that shit for Halloween and shit.
Yo, here's the funny thing.
I can't pull it
Go
off.
to the doors. Go to the doors.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean, with the little 3-piece suit on and shit. Oh man, I would kill it.
Yeah, man.
yo,
Just
the intro. Remember the intro to Amen? That was.
Oh, yo,
Yo.
amen.
We're
Was
dating
hilarious.
ourselves here, but hey.
Well, here's a
Yeah.
funny. Since we talk about the Sherman Hensley,
227 and amen was like my favorite shit. That one of my two low key.
let me share this screen real quick. Since we talk about the Sherman Hemsley, because a producer buddy of mine, Kev Brown, he actually had a album that he put out, and this is the album cover. He's very bold. You know what I'm saying? You
Are
see
you
that?
sharing-
Yeah.
I can't see it. You sharing screen?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
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 Everybody.
Yeah.
I guess Drew, you can't see it.
I got a delay. Oh, here it
Okay.
goes. I see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the Sherman Hemsley.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
see, for
talking
me-
about.
See,
You know
for
what I
me,
mean?
once I got to the point where I saw it was going, man, like I was just like, hey,
Sayonara.
sayonara. Bro.
You out of here. It's out
Teach his own, man. If you want to rock that look, hey, man.
You know who else is rocking that look is Homeboy Sandman.
So it's still my hair was going.
And I'm just like,
Yeah, I seen that too. Yeah.
Homeboy Sandman is a wild guy.
Hey,
I'm
some
like,
people don't care, man. You know.
He's an awesome rapper, but I was wondering. I'm like, yo, he used to rock the Baldy, and now he's doing the Sherman
Yeah.
Hemsley joint. There it is, right there. And like, I got a picture with him when he performed, and he sure as hell had the same haircut.
Yo.
It was crazy.
Oh
Whoa.
man.
Whoa.
You know?
Hey, all
Yeah.
power to you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Whoa. Too much. You got a lot of forehead. Damn. You got a head.
That's what I'm saying. He used to just keep it bald, and all of a sudden he's just like, whatever.
That's kind of how I would look with my. Like I got a big ass forehead.
It's just the pain is like me and Drew talked about, or me and Stan talked about. This is the maintenance. It's like when you go bald, but then there's a whole maintenance side of things where it's like you gotta
Yeah.
constantly keep it up.
Gotta keep it clean.
Then-
Gotta keep it clean, bro. But yeah, you don't gotta cut your
So-
shit, bro.
So
I don't
No,
really
you don't,
cut it.
man.
But
Nick's the only one-
I usually just shave it down so you don't see the grays, because I'm over here looking like Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four with these grays on each side. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yo, how come Ming is the only
you know you
one
man
here
the yeah
with a full head of hair? But
you
he
don't got
rocks the
you don't
hat.
got any
yeah.
yeah I get yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I didn't grow up wearing a lot of hats because hats destroy your line.
Hairline, your hairline.
Yeah, it destroys it. Like
Mm.
if you wear a lot of, I didn't grow up wearing a lot of baseball caps and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I did.
When I played football, the helmets used to itch, and I would find myself putting my hand inside. I used to hate wearing helmets, but yeah, it's
There's the OG.
yeah, there you go. Yep,
Yo,
that
man.
was
that's
Yeah,
what happens
that
when
was
you wear
it.
hats.
You
Right
know why I
there.
messed up? I tell you
Yeah,
where I
man.
messed up. When I decided to get cornrows, that's where it starts pulling back your
pull your hair back.
hairline.
Oh
yeah,
my
it pulls
God.
back your hairline, right?
Bro,
Yeah.
enough with the urban legends. That is not a real thing, dog.
It is a real thing,
Nah, dog.
dog.
The
You know,
hats
first
and
of
the
all,
cornrows, nah, bro.
listen.
you know-
two
you know,
things
but
about
you
the
know what?
cornrows.
It's
Two
genetics,
things about
bro.
the cornrows, right? When you first of all, you're pulling back your scalp, and then if you were tender-headed, is what they called it, in the back where the cornrows were pulled, all of this hair would bump up, and it would be terrible. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible. It was not worth the swag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
So how come Luda got a full head
And
of
then
hair?
you're doing this, and then you're
How
doing
come-
this the entire time.
How come Luda got a full head of hair?
But Luda also has a big ass forehead, bro.
Nah, dog. Yo, shout to Luda, man. Hey, Luda got a full head of hair. Got the Drake still got all his hair, bro.
Drake just started doing the damn You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He just started doing the
And he looked
cornrows.
tender. You talk about what tender headed. It don't get more tender headed than Drake.
Yeah.
All right, so look at the timeline here, right? If we're looking at our boy Luda, right? Let's share this screen real quick, right? Here we go. All right. Did this thing not share?
It's
Oh,
coming.
it's a delay.
Yeah.
It's the delay. All right, so look at his hairline here. You can see that the length of forehead is not as big, right?
You got to measure it.
But then if you look over here now, look at his cat forehead in this picture here. Share this tab instead. Yo, that looked like a lot more forehead. You understand what I'm saying? Look, especially this picture here.
But
That's
it's peeling
mad
back.
more forehead.
Whoa.
But it's
You
peeling
all
back.
have to, but you all have to realize is that these guys got money, man. You know, they can go to these doctors and you never know. This guy
We've seen a lot of these.
probably
Look,
Yeah,
look.
they got the
he
new hairlines.
probably he probably injects stem cells in his forehead or something like that. Like who
Stem
knows,
cells.
man?
Yo, salmon
Yeah.
eggs, bro.
My
These
point
chicks out here
is,
injecting
look.
salmon eggs in their face, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
My point is, in
You
this
know.
picture here, his forehead not that big. But then if you go to this picture, it's like he got a Klingon forehead. You know what I'm saying?
But this is
Um,
that seems like a more recent picture.
Yeah, what's the time? What's the time lapse on these photos?
I don't know. But
It's like a 20-year gap.
that's true. But hey, Mink, you don't remember what Kareem used to do with his hair? He used to put the egg yolk in his joint.
The mayonnaise and the egg yolk. Yeah.
Wow.
Cousin
But-
Kareem?
No,
Kareem.
the
Williams,
other
yeah.
Kareem, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what too was good for dandruff is Listerine. If you put Listerine in your hair, that gets rid of dandruff, psoriasis,
Never heard that.
eczema.
I've
Yeah,
never heard of that.
What I did hear about Listerine recently was there's a class action lawsuit because they didn't put enough information stating that the products could cause cancer.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wait.
nice.
Listerine can give you cancer. now?
Blue Listerine supposedly did
Oh,
not
blue.
disclose. Did not disclose. They say it keep your breath fresh and kill bacteria, but they didn't disclose like how the Surgeon General discloses
I like
on a
the
pack of
brown one
cigarettes.
better.
How the Surgeon General discloses on a pack of cigarettes that this may cause cancer. Listerine did not do that, and they're supposedly getting sued. I did not fact check that, so that's my disclaimer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, speaking of fact checking, well, Mink, I'll a couple of topics we got today. Somebody's in the news for what's been kind of the norm in the last few years, sexual harassment lawsuits.
Quid pro quo.
So what's going on?
Do you know what quid pro quo means?
Yes, of course.
What does it mean?
Yeah, it pretty much means that hey, if you do this, I'll give you this. You know,
Yep.
that's all.
Little tit for
And-
tat.
yeah, I don't want to get too
We got somebody else in the news being accused.
I don't want to get too vulgar, but yeah.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Yeah.
And who are we talking
Favor
about,
for
gentlemen?
favor?
Who are we
We
talking
are
about?
talking about Joy Taylor and Skip Bayless.
What's going on with Joy?
Well, let's kind of touch on Skip first. You know,
All right,
what's
with
up?
Skip?
What's up with the $1.5 million that he pays this hairstylist? I don't believe that.
Well, what's the whole story?
So
I
what's
mean,
the story?
You know,
Right.
well, you know, he paid for it, right? You know, it was kind of like an executive prostitution
Well, actually, no. So he didn't pay for it. He
transaction,
solicited-
right?
He solicited some sex for
Mm.
this hairstylist, supposedly.
Guess what? They use one of the terms you used in the very first podcast.
Yeah,
Salacious.
Yeah, it's a real term. I didn't
Damn.
make it. I didn't make it up. It was not a made up word. But Yeah. It's very interesting mess Skip has got himself in here. But apparently, Ray,
So he's being a fee for what he would pay for some services.
no, so she's accusing him of not only making various remarks and comments to her during the course of her employment at Fox. She's also saying he tried to solicit sex from her and offered her 1.5 million.
Okay.
She didn't go through with it, but that's the accusation in the lawsuit.
All right.
Wow.
Fair enough. My thing is, and I've said this before with these type of situations, is there proof?
I don't know. I mean, how do you prove that?
How do you prove that?
Exactly. That's my whole point. Like, if you're gonna make an accusation and potentially ruin somebody's reputation, have them lose their job, have them spend a lot of money on legal fees, right? I hope there's proof. Because imagine she just says that and he has to go through this whole rigmarole and it's not false. Does he get his job back?
I don't know.
Is his reputation restored? Will he get?
I think the reputation takes a hit regardless. Like that.
Yeah. There's. I would say that there should be some type of stipulation in the law. Oh, my bad. You had froze, so I just started talking. My bad. But I would say if there should be some type of stipulation in the law where you should be held accountable. I'm not saying this is happening, but I'm just going off on a tangent, right? You should be held accountable if you make false claims.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
There should be a penalty for that, because you playing with people's lives. In the court of public opinion, that's all they need to do is think of you as a scumbag and it's over, even though that might not be the case. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Not saying
KNS.
that's the case here, but yeah. Go ahead.
KNS, real quick, if you don't mind taking off the screen so we can see you talking real quick.
Oh, you don't see me?
We can see you,
Okay.
just a share screen. All we see is the report right now.
That's weird. Okay.
But yeah,
Riverside is weird. I'm not happy with your services, Riverside. I emailed you, and there hasn't been a response.
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Might have to cut y'all niggas off.
They're about to
Message.
cut us off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, I thought we were going clean. We were doing with the profanities.
It blurred it out. It blurred it
Well,
out.
yeah, we'll just have to blur that out. You know what I'm saying?
Beep. Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta
let 'em know.
censor ourselves.
So,
But
so,
anyway.
what do y'all think is gonna come of this though? Like, do you think Skip's
I think he's
this
already
just, like,
done.
under the rug?
He's already done, right? He already left Fox News or Fox Sports.
Fox Sports, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably gonna go on a podcast or something like us.
Shannon Sharp.
He'll be on our podcast next week. But I mean, like he's I think he's done, man. And I think this could be a bunch of garbage. The lawsuit could be totally like falsehoods, but I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I think he's guilty of some of it. I think the 1.5 million is absurd. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for
Because who like
that's just
like
nuts, nuts, bro. There's no OnlyFans, bro. Like worth 1.5, bro. I mean, he could have just went on OnlyFans for way less. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he doing?
way less, like 80% less, like
More than that, bro. Like 99.9.
even more than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
not-
I guess we'll see what happens with Skip.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, man.
This is too much.
But
This is like a trend
After
now.
he split with Shannon Sharp, I like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
been a
really like
trend.
that either. I didn't like that either, man. You think Shannon knew something was up with him?
Listen,
I mean,
Shannon. I think Shannon decided that I'm going to control my own destiny and get all the money. You know what I'm saying? Which is why he started his podcast, because he started his podcast, and shortly
Look at
after
him now.
that, he had the bombshell episode with Cat Williams, and he's been on a run ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes when the house is burning down around you, you sometimes
out.
you know it's time to get out, right? And
Yeah.
it's
Well,
You
here's the thing.
you think he just knew something was coming, or he just kind of knew like, hey, I just don't need to be here.
No, I think what happened was the DeMar Hamlin situation happened.
Yeah, there was that.
And after that, that's when he bounced. He had that.
There was a
he
Tom
tried-
Brady situation too. Remember the
Right. But it's really after that, because, as a football player, he said seeing another football player go down like that really like affected him. And then Skip went on social media, was like, it said
Play
something
ball.
crazy like, "Oh, nah, y'all need to keep playing ball," or
Yeah,
whatever
play
he
ball.
said. I don't know what he said. I can't repeat verbatim, but it was something to that. And Shannon didn't like that, and then he tried to come on the show and explain his piece. And in the middle of him expressing his feeling about that, like Skip started with his defense, and Shannon's like, "Bro, I'm trying to do my, and you cutting me off, and blah blah blah." And after that, he was gone. He was like, "I'm out." You know what I'm saying? So listen, there's plenty of people who have had problems with Skip Bayless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
What's his
Smoke, there's
name?
fire.
What's his name? Who
Stephen A.
used to play? Not,
Oh.
but I know Stephen A. But it was who was the host? He was on the show with him. And he used to be in the NBA, the light skinned dude, who played.
Light-skinned dude.
He was part of the Michigan basketball squad in college with Chris Webber and them. I forgot which one it was.
Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose.
Mm.
Jalen Rose got in Skip's ass one day. You know what I'm saying? And so he's always catching beef with somebody. You know what I mean?
It's because he says wild stuff, and then there's times where he talks about certain players, or and then he gets.
And that's why. And
Check.
You're frozen again. You're frozen again, unfortunately. And that's kind of what. That's kind of how Jalen Rose bodied him that day. He was like, "Skip, did you play ball? You didn't even play in high school." You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And then Stephen A. had to interject and, him with his big words, you know what I'm saying? Coming in there talking all that craziness. And I'm just like, yo, it's always something with Skip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Richard Sherman, man, had a run in with him
Yeah,
not
man.
too long. But I don't know if you've seen that infamous clip of him and Richard Sherman.
I remember that.
Have you seen that? You saw that,
remember that.
Bobby?
Yeah.
Yeah, where Richard Sherman was like I'm better at my job than you.
Then did you? Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
he
that.
just ethered him right there on the first take, bro. And it was like Stephen A. didn't even defend him or nothing. Stephen A. just sat there, just like
Sat there.
watching while his co-host got ethered. Man, it was hilarious.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, yo, Skip Bayless is just out here catching strays, man. That guy is just a glutton for punishment. I think he's just done, man. To answer your question, Bobby, I think he's finished.
Could
No
be,
one's
man.
no one's gonna want to touch him after this type of lawsuit, man.
That's the thing. It's like even if it comes out where he really didn't do that, I just think he already took the hit. So
Yeah, there's that stink of you're
Yeah.
sexually harassing people at work. Like, who's gonna hire you after that?
yeah,
You know?
especially today's climate,
Yeah.
man. You gotta just.
But speaking of
So,
somebody who's
outside
been
of that, man,
getting sexually harassed, Ray, you mentioned Joy Taylor. What's going on with Joy Taylor?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
She's a whole.
Your audio went out, thankfully.
Yeah.
Man, was
I
that like
think
divine
Ken- I think-
intervention?
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
KNS heard me what I just said, right?
No, I heard the first syllable, and then I already knew what you was gonna say. But the Lord
Yeah.
censored you, so just keep it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the censors are listening,
Oh.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to tell you something.
Yeah. Clean it up. Clean it up.
But yeah, she has friendly coochie.
She's for the streets, is what you're saying? Is she for the
Yeah.
streets? I don't know if I believe all that, man. I don't believe it though. Can you
I
tell
don't
people?
believe
Can you tell
that.
them what's going on and why she's getting a lot of attention right now? What are they saying she did? I want to know the story.
They're saying that she slept her way up to the top, and allegedly,
Allegedly.
I don't believe that she did any of that, though. In my opinion, I just think that it's all, you know,
I'm with you.
it's an attempt to assassinate, I guess, her
And
character.
and even if
her,
she did, even if she did, so what?
Well,
Whose
there's
business is that?
right, but then there's ethics that's involved in the workplace. You're really not supposed to be having any type of interaction with fellow employees.
Well, clearly not at Fox.
For those of you,
Not at Fox News or
right?
Fox
Well,
Sports.
for those of you who still hold corporate positions, we know that you can't have any type of relationships with coworkers. That's a part of that's in the handbook. That's
I,
the first thing that you
It
learn.
dep-
You,
that's
yeah,
you
not
know,
entirely true. That's not entirely
it,
true.
it really
no,
depends. It's a
It
business per
depends on the
business
business. It depends on the business.
kind of
Certain
thing, man.
business like government
Yeah,
business, they have like an ethics clause and things of that nature, and that might be in there.
right.
Um,
right.
it depends on the business. You know what I'm saying?
But I
Yeah,
mean, if it's just
and if you disclose it, you can disclose it
yeah,
with work.
you
But like
know,
to my point is, who cares? Like, even if she did, why is this a headline? That if she slept with some people on the job, I guess because she was married maybe at the time. But again, like, so what? That's their prerogative, no?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, unless it becomes like a harassment kind of situation, right? I mean, that's a little
Mm.
different.
That's
Well, oh,
true.
like,
It's
yeah,
like
I mean,
you have two
but I
people meeting up,
mean,
say, "Hey,"
you think she was pressured?
but then that could turn into that
no,
person
no.
saying, "Hey, no, well, it really wasn't that." Just gotta be careful in general. Like,
Yeah, and who dropped this story? I heard it wasn't it like some was it some exes or like who put this out there or put her
Well, it
business out
it
there?
I think it came up because the skip thing came first. Then it segued into the whole Joy Taylor thing. You know,
Okay.
um,
Like why
you
though?
know,
Like why would
uh,
we go
uh,
from
uh,
Skip harassing? This,
apparently maybe a disgruntled employee didn't get to partake in you know those type of activities
Let me tell you something,
with
man.
that individual, and they probably felt some type of
player hating.
way, and
mm,
well, yeah, yeah, and
Listen,
I don't know.
I don't understand how this is news to Stan Stereo's point, right? Of all the things that's going on in the world, this is news, right? Let me give you
yeah,
an
man.
example. I was watching news today when I got home while I was eating dinner with my wife, and of course they were covering the fires that's going on in California, and all the footage that they showed, and the interviews that they had. When it cut to the newscaster in the studio, you know how they ended that segment? They ended it by saying the Kardashians have reported that they've evacuated successfully. And
Oh
I'm just like,
no!
out of everybody that matters in the world, you
Oh
just
my
had
God!
to
Thank
end it on
God!
that segment. Oh my God, I'm so glad the Kardashians got out.
Thank goodness.
Like it's like clickbait. It's like
Kim's booty is
I don't care
intact.
about like who cares about all this shit, man?
Yo, hey, look, man. People love some
Yeah,
Kardashians
man.
though. Like
Listen,
they're
man.
just popular as hell, dude. People love the Kardashians.
I know, but but I'm just saying, like,
Bro, my wife was infatuated with Kim K and Kim K's booty for like two
Well, that
years.
really, tell me
Yes.
about it. Why was she infatuated with Kim K's
Dude,
booty?
it wasn't just her. It was like all because when Kim K first came out with the booty and it was like just so out of this world and people were not really thinking about getting implants. She like literally pioneered this whole big butt implant wave, bro.
But
Like think about it. Like 10, 12 years ago, nobody had implants.
but here's the thing. This is my, because like when I first heard of Kim Kardashian
Mm.
was during
Ray
the whole
J?
Ray J thing,
Yes,
right?
sir. I
And
remember that.
at that time, I was like, man, this chick is fine. Like I didn't
Hmm.
see that she needed to do any type of surgery.
Still fine.
If she did need to do surgery, it was really just to fix the nose because she had like
Oh
that
no.
that no seriously
well,
seriously that was the only
Yo,
thing. But let me make my
no, bro.
point. Let me make the point. Let me make my point. Right? She already had ass back then. You know what I'm saying? She didn't need to do anything.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you look at her now, it
Mm.
just doesn't look natural and it doesn't look attractive. Like when you see other girls on the gram that have like two basketballs for a rear end, but then they have two pretzel sticks as legs. Is that really attractive?
To some,
I don't think so.
hey, to each his own. To each his own. I'm not saying I disagree. I said, but apparently it's attractive to a lot of people now because everybody's got fake don't. You know what I mean? Everybody's just walking around here like boom, fake butt everywhere you go. She pioneered it. Think about it. Before her, did you see a lot of that? No. She
No.
made
And
she
and
made the
and,
Brazilian
and,
popular.
right.
So
And
so
then
anyway,
you,
that's a story on why my wife was fascinated for 2 years. I think she secretly wanted to go get some cheeks. But anyway,
and then remember their father was good friends with OJ.
oh, we're
So
going way down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't know
oh
what that
yeah,
has to do
man.
with the ass, though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Well,
I'm
no,
just
no,
No, speak
I
on it.
just had to bring that up. No,
well,
no, no,
everybody know
just
that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no,
right.
not everybody knows that. A lot of her
Bro,
young fans don't know.
He was Johnny Cochran's right hand man in the defense for OJ. You know
But
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of her fans don't know nothing about OJ.
Okay. I see a message on the screen that my something went wrong with Bobby Love and has stopped recording.
I can still see him.
Man, listen, man, we got to do something about this, bro. We got to do something about this platform.
Yeah, but yo, to your point, Ray, like a lot of folks don't know the Kardashian backstory with OJ. Like, older heads do, but a lot of her younger fans don't know nothing about that.
Right.
You
And
know what I'm saying?
it's yeah, and then that's they've always had they've always been popular for for years because of their father and
Yeah,
the
they
different
are
types
Hollywood.
of
They are
right
Hollywood.
of right relationships that they've had with other celebrities and business people and things of that nature. It's just like Trump. Trump knew a lot of people, since the 80s, you know. But yeah, I didn't mean to get into all of that, but yeah.
Yeah, let's bring it full
Yeah.
circle. But to your point, Kev, yeah, ending it on Kardashians after, a freaking forest fire that's devastating an entire city seems very like, I don't know.
Well,
Poor
what
taste.
it was
Yeah,
it,
beyond
that
poor
was
taste, it just seems like they're just
that
out
was
of.
definitely not necessary, but I will tell you poor taste was the true social post that Trump said after the fact, basically blaming the governor of California, saying it was his fault and calling him names. Like, listen, man, when people are going through a disaster like that, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear the blame game. They want to hear who's going to help me. Where do I go for help? Where am I going to sleep? Where am I going to get food? You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, I told you so. This is such and such's fault. And not even calling him by his name, but calling him like, like insulting, like switching around his name to make an insult. I'm like,
So on the flip side,
can you have some class? You know what I'm saying?
no, let's take class out of it. On the flip side, did he not call them out months ago for not having, enough water in California to assist in things like these?
You did tell me that earlier.
Yes,
When we was
yes, he
off
did.
camera.
So he did call him out for that, and nobody
Yeah.
said nothing. And then he probably called these same people out before, and now when it goes wrong, sure, he might be acting like a baby and saying "I told you so," but he did tell him so. So,
Right.
so it's like when he screws up, they all rail him and they get on him and point the finger at him, and even with his sentencing that he just had today, right? I saw a lot of stuff on the news about the sentencing and how he got off and
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah, and he shouldn't have got off in no time and all this, and it's like, well, he told you what was going to happen. He told you it was all BS. He told you like this should have been dropped, and then when it does, everyone wants to be up in arms. So it's like,
But did it get dropped? I heard he got found guilty, but they just didn't give him no time.
and what does that
Right,
mean?
that is correct.
What is that? And what does that even
It
mean?
was like 34 charges or something like that.
Yeah, how do you get 34 charges and have no penalties?
Thank you. So it got dropped is what happened. There's no I'm guilty and you got guilty, but we ain't gonna punish you. Like, what does that mean? Come on.
Well, you know what?
That's called privilege, is what that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
Different rules.
that's
Different
all
rules.
planned. It's all planned too because that's going to go into this whole TikTok thing, you know, and
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
yeah,
TikTok
it's
thing. Yeah, so he's trying to what, unban the TikTok?
Well, yeah, he's telling them. He say, "Hey guys, look, wait till I get into the, till I get in office, and maybe we can come up with a better setup, a better plan than what we're doing now."
Like
I
what, to
think,
save TikTok?
right. You know what I mean? Let's come up with a better, because I mean, come on, man.
Well, I'm confused though
You're not.
because TikTok is a Chinese company and Trump hates China, so why would he want to save it?
Well, because you got to realize, listen to what he said. Let's come up with a better plan, meaning that he doesn't want to completely ban it. And I get it. They think that the Chinese government is
Spying.
stealing people's identities, right, and
Mm.
all of that stuff. But
Is that
at the
really
end of
far?
the
Is that
day,
really far fetched though?
no, nah, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's all about money. You got to realize that the United States is, we're bullies. We're bullies, and we gotta have a piece of everything. You understand what I'm saying? TikTok has become so huge. So many people have made a lot of money off this platform. You've had people who has started businesses. Not only made, not only that, you're able to sell merch on TikTok. You know what I'm
So
saying?
basically, so what you're
And
saying is,
you
regardless of his hatred for China, because he sees the dollar signs in this platform, he's like, ah, well, maybe we should not
Yeah,
ban it. We should do
it's
something
good for
else.
the economy if you really think about it,
Okay.
because you're creating jobs. You're kind of bringing jobs back to America in a sense. I mean, his whole thing is what make
Are these
America
black
great
jobs,
again.
Ray?
But what
So
jobs are
why,
TikToker?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
these
want to know
black
you
what
know,
what
jobs.
jobs are we talking about right now?
I think it's a
well,
go ahead.
it allows you to go in business for yourself. You become your own entrepreneur. Like I say, the merchandise, these dance challenges that they do on there, the battles. You can stream games on there, and play video games.
What about the other
It's a
effects, though? What about the other effects of TikTok? I understand the monetary and, to your point, yeah, there is some economic value, right? But what about the other effects? Like, isn't it making kids dumber and like
That's
messing
my
with their
point.
self esteem and
I'm glad you
all
said
types
that.
of other issues
well,
that it's
no, no, I disagree with that, because if
no,
you want to say,
it's
if you
not
want to say that, you
no, it's
might
not
as
me, bro. It's
well.
they actually have like studies where they studied
Mm-hmm.
like social media and the effects and like
Yep.
especially TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
especially TikTok. Like it's like ruining these kids like self esteems
Yeah.
and childhoods, bro.
You know what I
It's,
think? What it is? I think is these big corporate giants that are, and not only these corporate giants, a lot of these big, huge universities, they're pretty much saying that, oh, because remember, no one's gonna want to work for you anymore. No one's gonna want to go to your school to
Mhm.
learn whatever the case may be. Even if they do go to school, they're gonna sit here and do TikToks, and they're gonna make all this money. Then they're gonna be able to pay for their tuition.
But
They're,
what's
they're,
the
they're no
percent?
longer
Yeah.
they're no longer gonna need what do they call that, the federal aid grants and stuff,
listen,
or whatever the case
I
may
think
be. But
like how you mentioned like the dance challenges and all this other shit. All that shit is a
right,
distraction, dog. It's a distraction. You know what I'm saying? And if you have all of these young people, all they're doing is like I'm not gonna name a certain individual, but I know somebody who is on TikTok all goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? If this is what they're doing, who is going to run the country? Who's going to have like the infrastructure jobs and stuff like that? If you want to be an influencer, like who's going to be the doctors, the lawyers, the accountants, the polices? If everybody doesn't want to do stuff like that,
Quick
there's
they're going
still
to
an
question.
be.
avenue. There's still an avenue for that. That's not going to stop.
But what's the
But
percentage?
this is just another avenue of being able to, create, the
But
different
what's
types of. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I feel, but what's the percentage of people in the United States that are going to be entrepreneurs from TikTok to make like a legit? Because Stan has brought this up, like as far as the legitimacy of like people really monetizing TikTok? Like, what's the percentage to where, you could say like a 15, 16-year-old kid is now not needing to go to school, not needing to do anything because we see, because this is
And
what I've
and
learned
how
over the
long
years.
can they sustain that money? Can they sustain that till they're retired, till they reach retirement age, so that they can provide for the family? Or is this gonna, whatever type of dollar amount that they're making, are they gonna make this for the next 5 years and then they're asked out? Like, you see
I'll
what I'm
tell,
saying?
You
yeah.
know, this kind of reminds me of, I can remember back in the day, and you guys are old enough to remember this, where, you know, a lot of the college football players used to get in trouble for receiving money from like outside marketing companies, those boosters and, private companies giving them money, and they would get in trouble and get suspended. And for so many years, we used to say, you know what, you need to give these kids money. They deserve it. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with this whole TikTok situation. Give them an opportunity to be able to make money, just by having fun,
I don't think
dancing
that's
and
that's a,
That's
I
not
don't
the
think that
same thing
I don't
though.
think that's the same thing. As far as
it's
the college sports, I agree with them getting paid now, because the collegiate athletic associations and all that shit, they've been making a killing off of these athletes' blood, sweat, and tears for all these years, and they never seen a dime. All they got was a free ride to the school. You understand what I'm saying?
so
So
why
make
not give back to the younger generation? That's where the TikTok comes
No,
in.
but for
What's
but
wrong with
what are
that?
they doing though? You know what I'm saying? Like what KNS is saying is these dudes are bringing money to the school. You know what I'm
correct.
saying? Like they are a big component of like universities like Duke and North Carolina
All
and
of those
University of
colleges.
Miami to
Yeah,
bring in these players to put the team up here, and it's the schools are the ones that get paid, but like with
exactly.
with the players.
With the
So like in
TV
the sense of
rights, the merchandise,
yeah,
like all,
in the sense of
ticket
TikTok,
sales,
it's like, I got
concessions.
I got like to think that like my son or like my nephew or whatever is just they have the opportunity to go on to do what? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a purpose, like in the sense of a football player or basketball player, where there's like, all right, they went through the mill to get to that level, and they're bringing that university money. And this is just my opinion. Some people don't agree. Like they should get a cut. Those jerseys that have their names on it, they should get a cut if you're bringing money to that school. But like in the sense of TikTok, I'll tell you what the biggest thing is that nobody talks about, man. It's about collecting data. This is what all it is. You look at it with YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. That's the biggest thing, is collecting data. And
You
the
know what
thing
you
about
need?
TikTok is we don't own it.
A cash.
We don't own it.
You need a sound
China
effect for
does.
that, because that was right. That's
Hey,
correct. And the
dropping
thing.
bombs. Yeah, actually, you need to drop a bomb on that one.
Do we have a bomb in here? You know what I'm saying? But here, we're gonna drop that right
But it's the truth, man. It's the truth. And that's why it's like everything from, again, Facebook, Instagram, and all this stuff. Like, I get people saying, like, hey, I'm not going to put my stuff up there. Listen, if you are on any of those social media platforms, your data's out there. And why do y'all think and this is, and again, man, this is real. All of us have experienced this. I know y'all have gone on your phone and talked about something, right? To your man or whatever. You flip on the Facebook and what pops up? Or you flip on the Instagram, what's the next feed that
there.
pops
The
up?
Ads.
same shit that you was just talking about.
Yep.
So here's
ads
the
or
two
something
things.
linked.
Yeah, here's two things that I will say about these social media platforms, TikTok, whatever you want to call it, is I consider myself I'm happiest when I'm like being creative. I'm doing something, whether I'm doing music or editing a video, or you know what I'm saying, doing something creative, right? And if I spend most of my time scrolling through social media, I'm not being creative. And there's times at this point, right, for the last couple of years, I've taken a step back from social media because I just realize I'm wasting time. Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning on a Saturday, and I said I'll just check my phone, and next thing you know, an hour passes by, and I'm like, wait a minute, see, this is the foolishness that's going on here.
Well,
And this
see,
is
and this is
hold on, man, let me make my point. So what I'm saying is, this is a distraction from actually doing real things that matter, in my opinion. But go ahead.
Maybe
Okay,
let me
so
jump in
we
real
take
quick.
we
Hey, hold up, Ray,
we,
hold up.
we
Before we continue down this path, let's like remember that we do utilize these platforms to build up our fan base. So if you're
Mhm.
listening on any of these platforms, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're on TikTok,
No,
Instagram,
yeah,
YouTube,
yeah,
or
but
Twitch,
yeah,
please hit
but
that
you know what?
subscribe button. Thank you.
but
It's
guess
kind of
what?
funny
Yeah, go
that you
ahead.
said
Let
that.
let Ray go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're kind of like contradicting ourselves in a sense,
Kinda.
because it's just, yeah, because it's just kind of like, oh yeah, social media this and social media that, but we're here doing this podcast, so that same person that's on their phone for an hour, we want them to do that because we want them to come on here and look at us.
But at
So
the
I
same
mean,
time,
it's.
we're offering something though. We're
Uh,
offering information.
well, it's the same thing with TikTok. There's a lot of
Dance
people that
challenges
offers.
is dance challenges
No, there's
I'm
other
and
learning how
those
things
to
that they
dance. We learning
offer
how to dance,
and
kid.
what
on,
about
on
those
TikTok.
and
No,
those fake
there's
AI generated videos? Like the minute I go on TikTok,
yeah, that's
I see a fake generated AI video of a fucking plow digging up a hole and a fucking dinosaur comes out and everybody starts
yeah,
running. I'm like,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
man.
But TikTok is also informational, also as well. It's just not all about the AI and the dance challenges and stuff like that. You have to really dig deep, and look at these things. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so quick to say, "Oh, well, it's like this," and then that's it.
Yeah.
Look at us. We need those same people that you're talking down on to make us successful. I mean, what do you think this is? You know what I mean? It's like, you better pick up your phone, you know what I'm saying? You better come on here and look at us. You know what I mean? This is how all of this works. I
But
mean,
guess what?
how
When they come and look
you
at
know,
us, they're not spending 6 hours looking at us every single day. That's my whole point. They'll come on and look at us for what, maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever.
yeah, yeah, but
My
we
whole
can
point is
s-
these
we can
kids,
do
they
it
get
that
on the
way.
phone and they sit
Yeah.
there and they'll spend hours and hours and hours. And what did they accomplish? They didn't get any smarter. You know what I'm saying? They didn't gain much skills. They didn't go exercise and get fit because they on the damn phone. You know what I'm saying?
We
They
Yeah,
don't
didn't.
yeah,
know
but yeah,
though.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't know. We don't
yeah, yeah,
know. We
yeah.
don't
But think
know.
about it.
Hey,
What
hey,
what do what
hey.
do we care? Just as long as they hit that subscribe button, right?
I guess I care
You
because
know
I
what I'm
have
saying?
kids, and I
Uh,
have and I have family members who have kids, and we all talk about this stuff, and it's always the same topic of discussion. And when I go to the kids' parent teacher conference, the teachers all say the same thing. I can't stand these phones that these kids are using in the classroom. They implemented a rule this year
Yeah.
that you cannot use the phone, and even though they implemented that, they kind of just they stop fighting the kids on it. They're like, oh, whatever, man. Just
Hey, quick question. Does
yeah.
anybody remember how we got here?
We just been going on a tangent.
What were we talking about before we got here?
no, no, this
What
is
were we talking
great.
about? What were we talking about? Like Joy or Skip Bayless, or
Hmm.
we were talking about something.
Yeah, we were
No,
talking about that,
yeah.
and then we just kind of like,
Yeah, how do we get to social media and
No, this it's cool.
the
I think
This
degradation
is
no,
of
we
our
fine.
started
industry?
talking about the Kardashian was mentioned at
Oh,
the
we
end
got
of
here
the.
from the Kardashian
Yes, we
booty.
got here from the Kardashians.
Kardashian cheeks got us
Yeah,
to TikTok. How did we
yeah.
get
Got us
from
to
there?
we got to social media somehow through that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, bro, that's some next level connections right there. Like, how do we
Yeah.
even get? Like, how make that math? How did we get from that to this?
Here's the thing. I don't even know what I'm gonna put for the thumbnail for this episode because we just talked about a million things in 48
Bro,
minutes. You know what I'm saying?
put
Yeah,
put
it's some good stuff too.
put like butt cheeks
Some
and
good
like
stuff.
E equals MC squared
And a
and
hoodie.
like Einstein and Zuckerberg and Elon. I don't know.
And Smokey the Bear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
and a whore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no, that's a great dope. That was great discussion, fellas. I think we
I
have one more
mean,
topic before we wrapped up, though, right? Weren't we going to talk about?
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, this whole
I guess we'll wrap it up with
WWE
that.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan
in good taste.
gets
I mean, might
gets
as well.
booed.
You know, did he
Well,
say the N
I'll
word?
give the backdrop on it as far as Hulk Hogan's concerned. I mean, obviously, Hulk Hogan for at least us was in the '80s. I mean, I don't think anybody can say they didn't know who, at least know who he was. I mean, Hulk Hogan was like Americana, so to speak, in the '80s, and a lot of times have changed, and and again, however you have your political views is whatever, but Hulk Hogan has been a very pro Trump supporter, and beyond that, this was like some years ago. He got caught saying the N word like blatantly on camera.
What's the N word, Rob?
It's funny, man. Like I've always been given that. I've just never been the dude to use the word. But
you could say it. You're Puerto Rican.
To that same point, I just so
Close
so
enough.
lo and behold, Raw, the WWE work that they are now on Netflix. This was like groundbreaking. They were on the USA Network for like 20 some odd years. Even I think
like
more
more
than
like
that.
30, like
30,
30
yeah. Even before, yeah. And they had their first very episode. It took place in LA, on Netflix. And Hulk Hogan, and they had a lot of different people show up, old school people, and Hulk Hogan shows up. And back in the day, even from a nostalgic standpoint, he'd show up and it'd be like raucous crowd, everybody going crazy. Well,
he's the GOAT.
That wasn't the reception that he got this past Monday night, and it was basically a plethora of boos. I mean, to the point where the production these days they can die down the boos if they see like the reaction isn't what the production wanted.
Right.
They could dumb it down or die it down, but it was like so blatant to the point where he kind of just waited and was waiting for them to kind of, and then even when he said, "Let me tell you something, brother," as usual, it just even went up higher. It was just really, really awkward. But those days of Hulk Hogan coming out and being the guy, those days are over, man. I mean, he's an older dude, don't get me wrong, but I just think that a lot has happened outside the squared circle that just people ain't really. And, huh?
I'm saying, is it too much for him to come back from? Like, has he done too much damage to his career?
He's just too old. I think he's just this. We got to remember, like he's already like 3 generations, maybe even 4 removed from it, like him even wrestling, So a lot of these younger kids and young adults, they don't look at him like we did, So
yeah, like
you gotta realize, man, Hogan go way back when Dusty Rhodes and them was wrestling, man, and man, that's back in the mid '70s.
No, not even back then. No. He was in the. He started in the early
'80s.
He became who he became in the '80s. I mean, like that's. Listen, to be fair, however you feel about the dude, like if it wasn't for him, like there probably wouldn't be wrestling going on today. Like,
yeah, he's the GOAT. Yeah, Hogan is the GOAT.
But
here's the thing, like to your point about the younger generations, right? Like take us for example. Like when we was young, we was into this hip hop thing, and we went to all of these shows, right? Now, us at this stage in our life, some of those artists that we still listen to and enjoy might come out to your city and do a show.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we're like, oh, snap, such and such is going to be here. And then when it gets closer to the showtime, we'd be like, I'd just rather stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with these older performers, celebrities and stuff like that. Their fan base, you see what I'm saying, is not the same fan base that's in those stadiums that they're showing up to. This case in point.
Yeah.
If that arena was filled with all of those people who was following him from the 80s, he wouldn't have got booed. But it's a bunch of new faces in there, young kids, you know what I'm saying, that don't necessarily care about who Hulk Hogan is. They care about The Miz and all these other guys that are in WWE now. And they're like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying?
I think there was a part, though, where, again, it was in California.
Yeah.
And, California is a big
was
Democratic state.
It was political.
And there was,
yeah.
but at the same time, it was funny. And we'll wrap up. But The Undertaker, right? And everybody knows him, too. He's a Trump supporter, too.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came out, you didn't hear the mass amount of boos for him. So, like, that's why I feel it's like this. It's a lot with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. But at the same time, you could be a fan of somebody and still be a fan of them regardless of the political views.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I'm pretty sure those core Hulk Hogan fans that he's had for so many years are probably just like, I don't feel
I'm
like
good.
going. I'm just gonna watch it at home and
Yeah.
sip a beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he's in an arena full of a bunch of new fans, young fans that don't necessarily know him to that point or care, or it's also the people who are booing him because of his political affiliation.
Yeah, I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying? So I think it's a combination of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's all I had on that. And then the last, like, he did another thing that was just crazy to see with him. He used to be 6'7". He's had like 4 back surgeries, and he's like 6'4" now.
That's crazy.
Like that's just wild. Yeah, and when he walks, he's like walking like this. Like I was like, damn, man.
Yo, is Hulk Hogan really 6'7", bro? That's like
Yeah, at
Yeah.
one point he was. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
like
he's
Jordan.
he's 6'7". Yeah.
he was a big dude. Yo,
Those
pause. Like,
guys
he was
were
a-
big, man. No,
Damn,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
could've played ball.
Undertaker's 6'10". Kane is
no.
6'10".
No way, dude.
Yo,
Yeah.
I could say, man, I could say,
Sid
and
Vicious
this is
6'9".
dating me, but I physically saw Andre the Giant wrestle. Like I saw him like right there. He wrestled Macho Man. This was 1988. Again, dating myself. And when you talk about like when you look at somebody like that big, you're like, that's why again, this is the going down a deep end, man. Like when you've heard stuff in the past, like about like giants and stuff, I just look at somebody like him, like how the hell like can somebody be that big?
Yeah.
But nah, Andre the Giant was like, I could say I saw him wrestle. That was kind of crazy.
Let me tell you something. You remember, when you watch these professional sports on TV, right? They're all around the same height, so
Yeah.
it looks normal, right?
I know where you're going.
Until
with
you
this,
get, until you stand next to these guys, then they're giants. They're what is the term? The biblical term, right? Nephilim. What is it?
Yeah,
What is it called?
a Nephilium, something like that.
Nephilism, I think,
Yeah,
is basically this biblical term where a human and a god
yeah,
had a
right.
baby, right? So, anyways,
Now, KNS, what was your reaction since you were with the Miami Heat for quite some time doing their audio and visual work? I'm pretty sure you've met a lot of those guys like
well,
Morning,
this is where I was
Udonis
going with.
Haslam. I mean, those guys are tall.
So
You know, so
that's
I
where I was going, right? So
right.
you remember, Rob, what was the boxer who was boxing George Foreman and was whooping his ass up until the very
Michael Moore.
last Michael Moore? I ran into Michael Moore when I was DJing at Max's Grill downtown Fort Lauderdale, and where their booth was, it was on a rise. It was a top. It was high, and you would look down in the crowd, and I was like, "Oh snap, it's Michael Moore." So I went down to say what's up to the dude, and when I got there, I'm like this. I'm like, "Yo, what's up, bro?" And I swear to God, I was like, "What's up?" I swear I was hitting a brick wall. How solid this dude was, right? And same thing when I was at the arena during the playoffs when San Antonio was playing the Heat in the finals. I remember I was on the event level and I was walking. The game was over, and all of a sudden it got dark around me, son. And it was like Tracy McGrady was here, and I think it was Bruce Bowen here, and these guys are like giants compared to regular individuals like us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's insane. So my point is to hear that Hulk Hogan was 6'7" is not far fetched.
nah, yeah.
They just look small on TV because they're all relatively around the same size, with the
Right.
exception of like an Undertaker or a Kane. But when somebody like me or you go next to them, we looking like midgets.
Midgets.
I
Yeah.
mean, if you
Small
remember,
Yeah.
Rocky 3 when
Yeah.
Hogan was in there,
Yeah, he
you
was
see
way
how
bigger.
you see
Yeah.
how big he was.
Yeah.
Standing next to Stallone.
Guess
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone
It's
had to
like,
stand on a
God.
stool but I saw that's I literally ran into him in Miami. Like there's a 97, 98. He's somebody that's only 5'7", barely 5'8".
Yeah,
He's shorter.
yeah.
He's short.
Stallone is
So
not.
he's
that,
like
that
our
tall,
height,
yeah.
basically.
He's
you know
short.
what I mean?
And then Mr. T, when they did the face off, he had to stand on a stool because Mr. T's really 6 foot. So it looked, yeah.
Yo, Stallone is only 5'8".
Yeah, he's short.
Yeah, he's short. Yeah,
Brolic, but he's short.
Damn,
yeah,
dude,
Stallone. You know
remember
who else is
Rambo.
short?
I thought dude was Diesel, bro.
No, he
Yeah,
is.
he-
No,
he's
he
still
was.
Diesel,
He
he's just
was,
short.
but he just short. Like, he's
You know
just
who
short.
else is short? Van Damme. Van
Is he?
Damme is short. Yeah, Van Damme is only like 5'7", 5'8".
Well, like
something
Bruce Lee
that.
was 5'7" and like barely 5'7", barely
Yeah.
5. Yeah,
130 pounds.
130 pounds.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, man. So,
I think
anyways, I
that's,
think we kind of did a quite an interesting episode with all these topics, man.
They did a whole hour.
Yeah.
We did a whole hour.
So yeah, Drew, you want to give the social information before we sign out?
Yeah, if you're listening, don't forget, subscribe, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. What else did I miss? What other socials did we hate on that I forgot?
What I will say
Full
is this:
opportunity.
if you do subscribe to us on YouTube, do not forget to hit the bell notification. That's really important
Yes,
because then
please.
you will be notified every time we drop some new content. Because I screwed up this week when my YouTube launched and I had got a bunch of people subscribing. And I see this girl today. I was like, "Yo, did you see the new footage that dropped yesterday?" She was like, "Nah, I didn't see it." And then she looked. She was like, "Oh, there it is." And I was like, "Yo, I forgot to tell everybody to hit the bell notification." Yeah. So, if you got subscribed, hit the bell notification. You will not miss when we drop something.
And comment. We'll talk to y'all. Comment.
Yeah, there's a few comments on there. Shout out to everybody who's been commenting on our stuff. And
Yes, thank you.
That's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At least
thank you for watching
Yeah, appreciate that.
appreciate
and
it,
support. And you have no idea how much it means to get that support and for y'all to hit the subscribe button. So definitely, if you're watching, don't forget to hit subscribe and add to the channel.
Yeah, and just let us know how you feel in the comments. We read that stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Joe.
So, all right, fellas. So
Next week.
till next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'd like to welcome you.
It's the world's famous. No gratuity.
All right, there we go.
All right. So my joint stalled out again.
You're